No more changing vectors.
Hey everybody, Flash Notion here, and I am a little bit frustrated and downtrodden, and this week's episode of MLP wasn't all that great, and there was not, I'm just not having the best time right now, so I thought, just to cheer myself up a little bit, I'd take a moment and I'd react to the latest episode of The Fundamentals of Magic with Princess Celestia. This series always does seem to cheer me up just a little bit because it reminds me of so many good things that have happened in MLP, and it's just rather fun. So, there's only one episode this time around, episode 5, entitled When Magic Goes Wrong. And, yeah, there's a lot of ways that magic can go wrong. Seriously, the mirror pool and the time travel spells, and just so many ways magic could go wrong. And I imagine we'll get a lot of examples of that in this episode here, even though it is rather short, as they all are. But, yeah, I want to watch this. I know it's going to be interesting at the very least. So let's get into it here. We'll start the video in 3, 2, 1, play.
Greetings, my faithful students.
Hello, Princess. Oh, hey, that's Twilight Damirima.
Things for us here in Equestria. It aids the pesticide in creating.
Hi, fluffy clouds.
The earth ponies in growing our delicious crops of fresh food.
Oh, nice.
And allows the unicorns to create useful items that benefit all ponies.
Okay.
Magical power is not simple. It has the
Oh.
ability to change the pony who uses it, and not always in a good way.
Yeah.
Discord, I'm trying to teach.
Eh.
For example, one of the most powerful sorcerers of all time has spent most of his life using his powers to inflict chaos on Equestria.
Yep. Ooh.
Queen Chrysalis of the Changelings sought
Oh.
to use her magic to prey on the love of ponies.
God, why you gotta show that? That was creepy.
The power of magic even caused my own sister to transform into the evil Nightmare Moon.
Nice.
So as you see, magic can be a marvelous tool, or it can be a heavy burden.
Yeah.
If you ever find yourself becoming overwhelmed by the dark power of magic, I happen
Oh,
to know a group of
Daybreaker.
ponies that pull you back into the light.
Aww. That was cute. Okay. So that wasn't quite what I thought it was gonna be. This was, let's, wait for this music to go away. So yeah, this was more of like a villain recap. We've got, Discord and Queen Chrysalis. No mention of Tyrek. But I suppose the implication here is that both Discord and Chrysalis have potential for good, whereas they're using their powers for evil. That just makes me think that when we do see Chrysalis again, she's going to get reformed. That would be a little bit weird, considering Thorax is now king and Chrysalis is his mom. Maybe she could end up being some sort of spiritual advisor for the Hive, but that would also be weird. I don't know. Maybe she'll go off and start a new Hive. That would be pretty cool, actually. Thorax is still in charge of the main Changeling Hive, but Chrysalis, after her reformation, pulls a lot of other villains that have been evil for a long time, but then they're reformed. What they do is they go off into solitude and they study and they start something new. Well, in Transformers, it's been done a couple of times with Megatron, where at the end of Transformers Prime, when he finally realized, oh shit, I've been a huge jerk for years, his reaction was, okay, tell all the Decepticons to stand down, disband the whole group, and then fly off into outer space and, I guess, think about what I've done, put myself in solitary confinement. That's the bad thing about Robots in Disguise 2015, is there was never any follow-up on that, so it kind of fell flat. But, hey, whatever. But they did it even better in the IDW series, where Megatron realized how awful he'd been and how much he'd inspired other people to be awful. And so he actually became an Autobot, and then he went off on a big quest to, partially to delay his sentence of essentially death for his crimes, but he wanted to do something good with his life before he died, and so he went off on this epic quest, and he helped a lot of people, and he killed some even worse people than him, actually, I think, technically. Like, he killed the Decepticon Justice Division, they're called, and they're some very bad Decepticons right there. The worst of the worst, really. Sorry, I got interrupted. Where was I? I was talking about Megatron in the IDW comics. And he became an Autobot, then he went on that quest, and then he killed a bunch of people that were bad. Then while he was on the quest, he actually got sent into another world where he'd stayed and became a good guy permanently. So yeah, reforming bad guys happens, and a lot of times they do get sent away. Another example, Lego Ninjago, surprisingly deep and good show, though I haven't watched it for a while. Garmadon, when he turned good, he went off and just kind of lived a life away from everything else and started teaching students how to be good. And then they brought him back into the fold, and he wouldn't fight physically most of the time, but yeah. That seems to be the thing, isn't it? Is that, like, when some really bad character becomes good, they swear off physical violence, as if that's supposed to make them good. I don't know. But I was saying that in relation to Chrysalis and what might happen if she became a good guy, good girl, whatever. But whatever. So yeah, this little short was interesting. The thing that I thought about going into it was, like, well, what happens when something that should be used for good isn't? Which I guess kind of works as well, like the villains using their powers not for good. They kind of touched on what happens when Twilight does a spell and it goes wrong. But I think the one that might actually have done it the most is Pinkie Pie, but they touched on the mirror pool a little bit before as well. I don't know, I feel like this one could have been a little bit differently done. I don't know. Whatever. I'm rambling here. I'm distracted. It's been a few minutes since I was actually talking about this. I hate interruptions. But no, this is a cute little short, and it made me think a little bit, and yeah, I just enjoyed watching this as opposed to some other stuff. So, yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you guys later, I guess. I mean, there's not really much else to say. So, yeah. Bye.